Joe the shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. And a big thank you to Cash for Otters and their song, Garbage Pail Sing. That's right. That's what you were listening to. Garbage Pail Sing by Cash for Otters. But they're very clever. Instead of spelling otters, O-T-T-E-R-S, they spelled it O-T-T-E-R-Z. And instead of like the word four, they put in the number four. So Cash, the number four, otters. Yet somebody else is probably going to be suing me. Hope you guys are having a good long weekend if you happen to live in the United States and celebrate Thanksgiving. If you don't, then I hope you're just enjoying your weekend. I will admit, a teensy-weensy bit hungover, as is common in American holidays. I overindulged in everything. Too much food, too much drink, too much weed. Oh, wait, there's no such thing as too much weed. Come on now. Let's be serious, people. It was fun. We had a good time. My girlfriend and I, we made Thanksgiving dinner, as is our tradition. Even though every year, actually, our tradition is to not want to do it, and then the closer the Thanksgiving gets to us, the more we start to just like Jones to do it. I don't know what it is, but every year we always like, let's not do anything, no big deal. And then yet, before you know it, we are putting together recipes, menus. I'm going shopping 3 or 4 times a week to make sure we have everything we need. It's a little nutty, but we had a good time. My buddy Craig the Mai Tai came by, as is his tradition. But unlike other years, we broke from tradition in that this year I invited him over before he invited himself over. So, I'm just kidding on you, Craigers. He's always welcome here. He's one of my best friends in the whole world, and it's always good to have him over. Especially if, you need something heavy moved. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on out there. Today I'm not going to bury the lead. Today's show, I Yelp, therefore I spam. This is based on something that happened to my girlfriend and I about a week and a half ago. I'm beginning to wonder exactly what happened to customer service. I would really love to know this because my girlfriend and I, we enjoy cooking, we enjoy food, but we're not foodies. Okay, we're not fancy schmancy foodie kind of people. But we do enjoy good food. And that's why we cook at home as much as we do. That's why, every once in a while we like to order in. And then every once in a while we like to go out. Because every once in a while, you know what? The best thing you can do is to be served. Serve me my drink, bitch. Serve me my food, bitch. That's right. You kiss my butt, bitch. That's what, we go out for that. But we're not really demanding people when we go to restaurants. It's not our thing. We very rarely send anything back. Even if it's off by a little bit, it's like, it's not that bad. It's not worth complaining about. If we send it back, everything else is going to get cold while we wait for it. So it's not a big deal. But recently, we went to a restaurant in our neighborhood, Connie and Ted's. They're a seafood place. Opened up a few months ago, about 4 or 5 months ago. And we've been looking forward to it because one of the nice things about living in West Hollywood, there is a plethora of restaurants around here, but very, very few, if any, legitimate seafood restaurants. Okay, typically, if we want to get seafood, we have to like get in the car and drive all the way to Santa Monica. Anything by the water, basically. And the last time we did that, I ended up with food poisoning. So not only was it a long drive and expensive, but I almost died. So when we saw that Connie and Ted's was here and it's a seafood place, we're like, yay, seafood! Now, bear in mind, because they are really the only legitimate seafood place in this area, they can afford to charge a premium. Okay, basically, it's a seafood tax because there is no other seafood around here, unless you count sushi, but that's a completely different animal. So we went there, and we were very excited about it. We were like really looking forward to it, because we really like going to restaurants in our neighborhood and trying new places, just experiencing this wonderful neighborhood that we actually happen to live in. So we go there, and we didn't get too fancy. We had the calamari appetizer, which was very nice, if a little bit small. Very lightly breaded. I think I would have preferred it to be a little bit breadier because I like my calamari to have more of a crunch. But otherwise, the flavor was excellent. She had the boiled platter, which is actually steamed, which just makes it better, in my opinion. But she had the boiled platter, which came with, I think, oysters, mussels, lobster, sausage. It was very tasty, and it came in this really, really nice broth. Which was delicious. It was so delicious that we were like, hey, can we get some bread? Because we wanted to sop up that sauce, And the chick very politely tells us that, well, our bread rolls are made to order and seasoned with real sea salt, mind you. And it's $5 to a serving, and it's $5. I'm like, $5 for fucking bread? That most restaurants give to you for free, even in today's scaled back restaurant world where people are like pinching every penny possible. Most places still give you free fucking bread. But no, not Connie and Ted's. All right. We're like, no, screw it. We don't want your $5 fucking rolls. All right, no problem. We didn't say it like that. We were very polite, actually. And I ordered the fish and chips. I know, how avant-garde of me. But, I want to try something basic because if I don't like the fish and chips, then what are the odds I'm going to like anything else? Again, the breading was a little on the light side, not as crispy or as crunchy as I would have liked. But the flavor of all the seafood we had was very, very sweet. The lobster, the fish, even the oysters, very sweet, very tasty, We ordered a couple of cocktails. I ordered a margarita. They do a built margarita, which basically means that they throw in ice into a glass, give it a salt rim, and then just pour the ingredients in. Whereas I like my margarita shaken, get a little extra cold and, blend the flavors a little better. But the traditional way, believe it or not, is to build a margarita, not to shake it. My girlfriend ordered a martini. We were not specific about this. So they brought her martini. It was a stirred martini, not shaken like Mr. James Bond likes it. But it was good, though. It was built, and you could tell, that they did a good job with it. No problems there. Now, before just about the time the entrees came, we decided, let's order one more drink so we can get a little buzz on. And, but we ordered one to share because we didn't want to get, ripped or anything. That wasn't the plan that day. But we figured, let's order a martini. But this time, I wanted it shaken, not stirred, a la James Bond, because I like it really, really cold. And I want those little ice crystals forming at the top, which is great. Yes, it is a watered-down martini. It's also known as bruised. But that's fine. That's what we wanted. And we order it just like that. And the waitress comes back with a built martini and a glass of ice next to it, which I'm a little, confused by, but, we're like, okay, I don't know why they did that. But, I sipped the martini, my girlfriend sips the martini, and we both realized this was built. This was stirred, not shaken. And so we bring the waitress back and we let her know that, hey, we asked for a shaken martini. This one was stirred. I just want, we just want the drink that we want. To which then she tells us that the bartender said that if you shake the martini, it alters. Ooh, my stomach is growling. It alters the chemistry and flavor of the martini, and thus you don't get a really true martini flavor. And my girlfriend did not appreciate the fucking lecture on the drink. Now, I worked as a bartender for well over 6 years, and not only did I never tell a customer that the way they ordered their drink was wrong, I sure as shit didn't send one of my servers to give them a fucking lecture about it. This attracted the attention of the restaurant manager, who came to us and asked, was there anything wrong? And we explained to them what we asked for, what we wanted. He explains to us that apparently this is I don't remember his name. It's either Juan or Huang, because he looked like sort of Asian, and sort of Latino, maybe Filipino, who knows. But and he says that this is a problem they've been having with their bartenders, that they don't make the drink that, the customer asks for. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. And my girlfriend lets the guy know, I've worked as a bartender. I let him know, I worked as a bartender. I know what we wanted and how we wanted it. So he says he'll take care of it. And he comes back, he brings us a shaken martini. But of course, by that time, we'd already had food getting cold on the table. And at no point did he offer us anything, which I know sounds a little bourgeois of me, but when somebody fucks up, you do more than just give me lip service, especially when I'm trying to have an experience. You know what? I can be at home making martinis perfectly the way my girlfriend and I like it. I go to a restaurant, I do it. I go there because I want service. I want an experience, not just getting fucked up. So he didn't give us a free martini, didn't offer us some free bread. He didn't offer us anything other than a bunch of lip service, And I wrote about it on Yelp. I did. I Yelped it. I very rarely, actually this was like the second time I ever Yelped. That's how rare it is, because, I'm not one of these people that goes around feeling the need to write about every little experience I have and, letting you all know about it. That's why I have the show. All right? I express myself verbally. The written word, I can do it as well, but not about every stupid little thing that happens to me. But, so I yelped about it, and I've included the good and the bad. The food was good. The drinks were well made. The service was good. Maybe the busboys were a little too eager, but other than that, it was a decent experience. But it made me a little pissy that I'm having some fucking bitch tell me, the way I should have my fucking drink, and then again they're charging me for bread made with real sea salt. Oh my God!
I'll bring my own sea salt next time.
That's right. That's my girlfriend there chiming in. We'll bring our own fucking sea salt. I don't know how. I don't see how. Does anybody think that getting sea salt is difficult? Any fucking supermarket. Most grocery stores.
Go to the beach and distill the water.
Exactly. You can distill the water at the beach. It's sea salt. It's not that big a deal. As a matter of fact, as far as I can remember, that's the original source of salt was the sea. So, yeah. So overall, not a bad experience, but not a great experience either. And this will tie into my upcoming stories right after we come back from this break. Coming up next is more Cash for Otters and their song, how appropriate, Bupkis for Seals. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
1, 2, 3.
Joe the Shirt is back and still off the cuff. Joe the Shirt, off the cuff since 2012. Some good news out there for you guys. I put in an order for the t-shirts. The Joe the Shirt is off the cuff t-shirts, which you guys can purchase from me. T-shirts are pricey, you know. So I have to charge money for them. I would love to just be able to give T-shirts away. I would absolutely love to. And there's a couple of you out there that I'm going to be giving away a T-shirt or two to, because you guys rock, and I love you guys. But the new Joe the Shirt's off the cuff T-shirts will be available probably in about 2 weeks, and I'll be putting pictures up of that on Facebook so you guys can check them out. And then you know what? When you get them, take a picture of yourself with it on and get that back to me. Post that up. I want people to see that I actually did T-shirts. That's right. I'm talking to you, Thinkerbell. I'm talking to you. We're talking about customer service, the death of customer service. Now, I just told you the story about the time my girlfriend and I went to Connie and Ted's, which was about a week and a half ago. A very similar story we got from one of her best friends. We call her Ella. Not her real name. She related her story to us of a time that she went to a restaurant and ordered a margarita. Now, she likes the flavor of margaritas. She likes a nice cold margarita. But she doesn't like frozen margaritas, and she doesn't like ice in her drinks. So she ordered a margarita up, which for all of you out there is basically, it's a margarita martini is what it is. You know, you make the margarita, you shake it with the ice, then you strain it. You pour it into a martini glass. Martini, it's a margarita up. And so she tells us the story of how she went and she ordered her drink. And the first thing they did was they brought her back, a frozen margarita?
Frozen.
They brought her back a frozen margarita. She doesn't like frozen drinks. So she sends it back. She tells them again what it is she wants. And then they brought her back, what did they bring her back, baby?
Rocks.
They brought her back a built margarita on the rocks. Not what she asked for. And then ultimately, what was the story they gave her?
I think she got a lecture too, but eventually she did get her drink. It took like 3 or 4 tries.
Yeah, but she also got a lecture on the correct way to have a margarita. You know what? I went to bartending school, which is more often than not a little bit of a waste of time, but it has its benefits. But one of the things that pounded into my head was, you make the drink the way the customer asks for it. There's no wrong way to make a drink. As my girlfriend put it when we were at the restaurant, if I order what kind of steak?
Well done with ketchup.
A filet mignon, well done, also known as burnt with ketchup, then that's the way I fucking want it.
Laugh at me behind my back.
Sure, go ahead. Laugh at me in the kitchen. You point at me, you know.
I don't
but
care.
give it to me the way we're paying for it. I want it the way I want it.
Now, if you're asking for recommendations and they suggest something, that's one thing.
Yes.
But when we ordered our drink, when she ordered her drink, we were very, very specific.
Yeah, exactly. So what?
It's funny because like, I'll take a martini.
Yeah.
I'll take a Cosmo.
Yeah. You know, I'll take a vodka martini. That's as specific as you need to get. Then that's what you get.
We were very, very precise, as was she.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So customer service is a weird. I think the worst experience.
Disservice, actually.
The worst experience we ever had with customer service was when we were at Harrah's.
Imperial Palace.
We were at the Imperial Palace. We had a very nice room, and are you sure that was the Imperial Palace?
Yes.
I don't think.
Yes.
Was, okay.
It had the big tub, yeah.
Right. We had a suite, and you know, when we go to Vegas, we tend to fuck a lot. So there's a lot of nudity involved. And we get there, and we're having a good time. We're naked all over the place, and my girlfriend develops this gigantic rash from head to toe.
Body wide, yes.
I mean, just body-wide rash from the comforter there. And we called them. We let them know what's going on. We told them, look, we need somebody to come up here and, you know, change the sheets, change the bedding. And they took forever. And then, yeah, over an hour, right? Yeah. And then they come up. And they come up with a bag full of bedding that they drop on the floor and then walk out. I'm like, you're not making the bed? So they did it. So they drop off the bedding. They don't remove the old bedding, and then they just leave. So I'm like, I'm making my own bed in a fucking hotel now? My response to this was taking all the bedding that was on the bed already and dumping it in front of our door, which was also blocking a fire exit. I then proceeded to call them and let them know, hey, by the way, your bitch came up here, dropped off the bedding, didn't change my bed, so I took the bedding off our bed and put it in front of the fire exit. It's blocking it right now, and I'd like somebody to come up here and change these goddamn sheets. And, you know, after another hour, they finally did that. You know, and then we complained to management. We complained to security. We had phone calls with their...
We went downstairs.
Yeah. And you know what they told us? Well, maybe you should just go to the emergency room. I'm like, she doesn't need an emergency room. We'd like you to make us happy. I use those words. What are you going to do to make us happy? And they were like, we don't know what you want us to do.
On the property, they have first aid kits.
Yeah.
Chances are somebody had calamine lotion, which would have done the job. No, what I really loved is the manager behind the desk who said, well, maybe you two just drank too much. He actually said that. And really, in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, distinct possibility.
Distinct possibility we drank too much, yes. But we didn't. That's the thing, is we were so fucking sober because we were keeping an eye on her. She was not having fun. She's not having a good time here. So, yeah, that was just grotesque how they treated us. And since then, we will not stay at any Harrah's property.
Also, remember the series of emails that got us nowhere?
Oh, yeah. We emailed them about a half dozen times over the course of about 2 or 3 months, and all they did was shine us off. It was ridiculous. Nobody helped, and we let them know we are never, ever staying with you or your properties ever again. We won't even gamble in your properties.
I won't walk in the door.
Yeah. So, you know, just FYI, screw Harrah's Entertainment and any of their...
and they own a lot, which is a damn
They
shame.
do. They really do. They own the Rio,
Yes.
right? Imperial Palace. Was it
I
Caesars? No, they don't own Caesars. Right, Rio, Harrah's, but they own a lot.
Those are the places
They own about 40% of the Strip.
Yeah.
And don't go to those places. They treat us like absolute shit. You'd think that, we were just defecating all over the hotel room. But no.
I gave them a lot of my business and a lot of my money.
Yeah, that's true. Both of us did, yeah. We went there for years.
Well, anytime I had a business trip for the Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah.
They own the Flamingo. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... Yeah, customer service. It used to be something that people cared about, But more and more, you know what? When I want good customer service, I find that leaving the country is what it takes. Going to Mexico, which we like to do for our vacations, but even that has been downgraded, in my opinion.
Depending on the price.
I mean, the last couple of places that we went to. The customer service was.
The last one was good.
It was okay. I didn't feel like they did enough to accommodate the fact that it rained every fucking day. But but that's limited. But the place before that was absolutely god awful.
Yes.
Customer service. I mean, everybody acted as if we were just a couple of homeless people that came off the street and were just demanding shit. Not the fact that we paid several thousands of dollars to be here. All right, let's do celebrity birthdays. Okay. If you were born November 30th, you share a birthday with Ian Heckox. He's 26. You're wondering, who the fuck is Ian Heckox? Well, he is part of the comedy duo Smosh, who has the #1 YouTube channel in 2013 with 2.3 billion views. I want to take a class from them to figure out how the fuck are they doing this. By the way, you got some yogurt on your lip there, baby. Kaylee Cuoco is 28 years old from The Big Bang Theory. Ben Stiller is 48. Bo Jackson is 51 years old from the old Bo Knows advertisements. Clay Aiken is 35. And here's a real singer. Billy Idol is 58. Mandy Patinkin is 61 years old. Robert Guillaume, who played Benson on the TV show Benson, is 86 years old. Steve Aoki, musical producer, DJ, is 36. And Ridley Scott is 76 years old. Honestly, other than Billy Idol and Robert Guillaume, I really don't give a shit about any of those people. Do you? Before we take a break, a couple of quick news stories here. President Barack Obama pardoned Popcorn the turkey. I'm looking at a picture of Popcorn. Popcorn is, without a doubt, the whitest turkey I've ever seen in my life. At no point do I believe for a second that this bird was bred to be eaten. This bird was bred to be looked at. It's gorgeous. He looks like a penis coming out of a pillow. And other news here. Has anybody noticed a rise in the homeless population? Well, unless you live in New York or Los Angeles, no, you haven't. Overall homeless population has actually dipped by quite a bit. But if you happen to live in Los Angeles, you've seen a definite big jump in the Los Angeles County residents who became homeless in the last 2 years. They defied the modest decline in overall homeless population. Los Angeles County's population rose 15% from 2011 to 2013 to a grand total of roughly 57,337 total homeless people in Los Angeles, second only to New York City. Now, you think to yourself, that's a pretty big number. Almost 58,000 homeless, that's a lot of homeless. But you know what? It's an even bigger number when you consider that they estimate that there are only 610,000 homeless people in all of the United States. Just a little over 500,000. That's it. Which means that roughly 8% of all the homeless people in the United States live right here in LA. And I know they do because yesterday I bought them a sandwich. There's a homeless guy that I've been feeding for the last couple of years. When I go to the store, I tie off my dog, and he watches my dog for me to make sure nobody fucks with him. And sometimes I'll buy him a sandwich. And what I did yesterday, my girlfriend and I, we bought him a sandwich, a bottle of Gatorade, and a bag of chips. And I feel good about myself, because I'm a big old softy, like she says. But and typically speaking, I don't really give a fuck about the homeless. I really don't. Mostly because I'm not homeless. People tend to adopt causes when it actually affects them in some way or another. So, not that really, look, it's not like I hate the homeless. Just to let you know, I don't hate the homeless. I just, generally speaking, don't care all that much. But when a homeless person does something to, distinguish themselves from all the other homeless, like this guy does, he watches my dog for me while I go shopping. I come out, I know that he kept an eye on him, So yes, I do give him food sometimes. Less often I give him money. But, that's what I do. Now, if you happen to be homeless in New York City, you are among the, 10% of the total homeless population in the United States lives in New York City. Both places I've lived in, I think that means they're following me. In any case, that is time for a break. Here's more up of Cash for Otters and their song, Partisan Wedding. I'm Joe the Shirt, I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
Ain't no big in this goulash, and it doesn't help we're reading in the rain. But the family's back from hiding, so we got to entertain. And it's 3 days to the wedding, and we're living in a cave. Boy, life will be easy if we manage to escape. I see you folks on Sunday. I wish that I could stay, but I'm a track down at General and put over his grave. Those mortar shells are flying over hills. I got 20 white roses and 20 confirmed kills, 'cause I just got back from Georgia. Oh, took Lisa away.
Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. That was more Cash for Otters and their song Partisan Wedding. Actually, Partisan with Z. Don't know why. We've been talking about customer service. We've been talking about a bunch of things. Here's something that occurred to me very recently in that vein. Is that, do you trust celebrities to sell you anything? I was looking through some magazines the other day, and every time I saw an ad with a celebrity in it, I took that ad out. I ripped it out just so I could compile this list here. And my question, it really is to you guys. I mean, the fact that a celebrity is endorsing something, does that really make you want to buy that product? Or, like my girlfriend and I theorized, it's the fact that there's a celebrity there that you stop turning the pages. I'll be turning pages. If I see ads, I tend to ignore ads, just like I do pop-ups on the computer. But if I see a celebrity, I go, hey, it's that guy. They're shilling for this product. I don't necessarily think that the celebrity is making me want to buy that product, but it makes me stop to see who the celebrity is, and then I notice the product. But do you trust who's shilling for you? Well, for instance, I'm looking here at a ad here for Gucci, Guilty. It's a fragrance for him and her. And the celebrity they have here is Chris Evans. You may know him as Captain America in all those movies now. And he's shown here with a hot chick, and I mean, is it? Are we supposed to believe that use Guilty by Gucci and you get hot chicks, or I'm turning the pages, I see Chris Evans, and I'm like, oh look, it's Chris Evans. Oh look, Gucci. But look, it did work though. Now, a product that I had no conscious thought of is in my head. Guilty by Gucci. Look at another one here. There's a ad here for Maestro Dobel tequila. It's being shielded by Perry Farrell, lead singer of Jane's Addiction, who also created Lollapalooza Music Festival, and according to this, is a drinker of Dobel tequila. Now, does that make me want to drink Dobel tequila? I mean, I'm looking at it, and you know what? At the very least, I believe Perry Farrell, who is a lead singer for a rock band, he probably drinks a lot. Yeah, so yeah, I can believe that. Then I look at this next ad. It's for Tag Heuer Swiss Avant-Garde watches, being shielded here by Leonardo DiCaprio. Does Leonardo DiCaprio know anything about good watches? Does he have a degree in engineering watches? I mean, does he know anything about Swiss quartz and how all that shit works? Probably not. But as my girlfriend did point out to me, he does. He is rich and buys expensive things. So yeah, I mean, do I trust his opinion on it? Maybe, maybe not. But it got me to stop and look at the ad. Here's another ad with Audrina Pantridge for Curve men's or women's fragrances. Good-looking woman. I have no idea who she actually is, but it doesn't make me want to buy anything. Now we have here an ad for Relax Fit Skechers being shielded by Joe Montana. Okay, Joe Montana, athlete, used his feet all the time. If Joe Montana says to me, hey, these are great shoes, they're comfortable, I'm inclined to believe him. Just like Webb Simpson, 2012 U.S. Open champion, he's a golf player, and he's shilling for Izod apparel. Do I believe that he wears this stuff? Absolutely. I've seen him wearing it when I watch TV, watch the golf tournaments. Webb Simpson, yes. And the clothes look geeky to me, but, if Webb Simpson is buying them, then maybe I should too. Maybe, because Tiger Woods wears Nike, I should wear Nike clothes. Now, here's another watch ad. This one for Tissot, Swiss watches since 1853, by Tony Parker, being shielded by Tony Parker. Tony Parker is a basketball player. I've never seen Tony Parker wear a watch ever. Ever. And I actually trust him less than I do Leonardo DiCaprio. So I don't get that one. Let's see. Hold on here. Here's one for you for Campbell's Chunky Soups by, what's his face? Clay Matthews. Does Clay Matthews really eat Campbell's Chunky Soup? New England clam chowder, according to this here. I believe it. Does that make me want to buy it? I'm still a little out there. I mean, does seeing Clay here really make you want to buy Campbell's Chunky Soup? Or is it the fact that it was Clay, and by the way, they got his head about like 3 times the size of his normal head on top of a much smaller body? So you're forced to notice him. And finally, the last ad I looked at was for Cuervo Tequila. See, this one I believe. This one I trust because it's got Kiefer Sutherland on it. And Kiefer Sutherland is known for being a party fucking animal. A drinker, a boozer. I mean, this guy will get hammered. And he parties and he's crazy. And the ad tagline is, have a story. And you know what? This one I trust. I do believe for a fact that Kiefer Sutherland drinks Jose Cuervo. But then again, I also know that Kiefer Sutherland would pretty much drink anything. You know, it's... I mean, it's a good endorsement, you know, because like if I was at a party and somebody said, hey, you know what's the best place to get crystal meth? And I turned around and there was Charlie Sheen, then yeah, I would trust him. Yes, Charlie, where is the best place to get crystal meth? You know, thus I do trust Kiefer Sutherland, you know, that I trust that he drinks Jose Cuervo. I trust that he enjoys it. But honestly, I don't know that it makes me want to drink it. Good God, we're almost out of time. Go fig, right? All right. Normally, I don't talk about deaths here on Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. I talk about birthdays, life, and people that are fucking you over in the life. But one Merrill Williams Jr. recently died. He was a low-level employee for a law firm. His job was to go through sensitive files and tag them and put them aside. And what he did instead was, turned out one of the clients for the law firm he worked at was a big tobacco company. Now this guy was making $9 an hour as a paralegal in Louisville, Kentucky. And what he would do is he would regularly tuck a few memos at a time into a slit he cut into the lining of his overcoat. Sometimes he stashed a cigarette, marketing plans, and medical studies under his shirt, between his skin and old weight loss corset. And then there were the days that he wore baggy pants so he could, better, hide the embarrassing correspondence under the waistband. Now what this guy was doing was taking all this, inner company correspondence, and then he gave it to the government, who then used that to sue big tobacco companies. Now, way back in 94, tobacco executives repeated their common mantra, which is that nicotine is not addictive and that smoking is a choice. Okay, that's about half right. Nicotine is addictive. But the first time you smoke, it is a choice. Is there anybody out there really that still believes that cigarettes are not bad for you? I mean, I knew cigarettes were bad for me back when I was a little kid. There was a reason people kept telling me not to smoke, even though they were, smoking their Marlboros right in front of me. They would just tell me, it's like, hey, it's a filthy, disgusting habit. Don't overdo it. It's bad for you, and but we all knew. People were just getting really pissed off that, the tobacco companies were lying about it. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to go, yeah, our product kills people, and you probably shouldn't use it. Look, I know that smoking is bad for me. That's not the reason I don't smoke. I don't smoke because I never enjoyed smoking. I have the occasional cigar, not inhaling. I like the ritual of it. I like the smell of it. I like sharing them with my buds, but I'm not a smoker. But I know that smoking is bad for me. I know that drinking is bad for me. It fucks up your liver, your pancreas. It fucks up a lot of things in your body, and it kills brain cells. I've known that since I was, 13 years old. I drink anyway. I know that eating Cinnabons is going to make me fat and clog my arteries and may possibly give me a heart attack. But I don't eat Cinnabons because there aren't any Cinnabons open anymore. But if there was a Cinnabon at the mall like there used to be, I'd be having Cinnabons. But I know it's bad for me. So I don't want to hear I don't want to hear all the bullshit. This guy helped to bring reform to how lawsuits are done against tobacco companies, wherein they were trying to make tobacco companies pay for cancer treatments, emphysema treatments. And I'm like, no. Now, these days, we all know smoking is bad for you. People continue to smoke. the anti-smoking legislators can go fuck themselves with their whole, oh yeah, people are smoking less and less every day. I'm like, no, they're not. They're smoking just as much as they used to. They're just not admitting to it the way they used to. Anyway, like I said, well, if you're a smoker, you made your bed, you're going to lie in it. You and your iron lung. That's fine. Go for it. It's your right. To kill yourself. That's fine. I'm killing myself in different ways. But God forbid anybody tell me how it is I'm going to live my life. To quote one of my favorite lines from a TV show, God damn, what was the name of that show? Shit, I don't remember. But the line was, let me get to hell the way I want to get there. And that's what I plan to do. Thank you for listening. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff. And here is more Cash for Otters, The Cannibal Problem. Also, mate, remember to let me know if you want to order those t-shirts. All right? Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff t-shirts. You know you want one. You know you want one. Also, happy birthday, Ellen. Not the comedian Ellen, my friend Ellen. Happy birthday.